When doing the research on you, you were supposed to only be with the Guiding Light for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And you wound up being there for years.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, you had such a huge fan base.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're being very modest.
Yes, you are.
Yes, all four of you, thank you for watching. And actually, it really was a fan thing that kept me on, more so than, like, usually they create an arc where you're on for a year and a half, or you're on for at least 6 months, and they contract someone to do that. I was brought in on, I love telling this story because it's sort of like my only Cendrillela story, really.
Mm-hmm.
I was brought in an audition for a non-soap opera type. So I walked in, and it was at Guiding Light in the production office on 57th Street at CBS. And I walk in, and there are like a few African-American girls, and like maybe one other chubby girl, and like a girl with like a hot girl with glasses. I was like, you're fooling no one, hot girl with glasses. You are Go home.
Yeah.
And actually, one of my dear friends growing up, I went to an acting camp called Stage Door, and another dear friend of mine named Dana was there, and Dana's a hottie, but about yay tall. So we all auditioned. I met Rob DeCino, who's the casting director, and just probably one of the nicest individuals I've ever met. And just super casual, because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be on a soap opera. I mean, I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now, and not expecting very much from any of it. So I was absolutely floored when I was sitting on this very couch, and I got a call being asked to be called back. And I was like, awesome. Call my friend Dana. She's like, yeah, I got a call back too. Awesome. So they're calling the world back. They're going to have some producer sit there, waste more of my time. I go back to the production studio. I walk in. It's just Dana and me.
Wow.
And we both read. We read for Ellen Wheeler. And once again, Rob, the casting director, was reading the scene. And it was a scene with Marcy Ryland, who played Lizzie. And it was a scene that aired. It was in the story. It was something about, like, could you tell, for anyone that actually watched the show, it was like, could you tell Coop that I'm pregnant from this date and not that date, so that it doesn't look like Jonathan's baby.
Yes.
And it winds up being Jonathan's baby because Lizzie's a rather rude individual, heartless woman.
So she asked you to fudge the records.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how I came on the show.
Wow.
Anyway, so Dana and I both go in, and then we're like, you want to get lunch? And she's like, yeah, both realizing one of us was going to get it. We're sitting at lunch at the Brooklyn Diner down on 57th Street, and I feel a phone vibrate in my pocket, and I was like,
Oh.
Wow.
I'm not going to say anything.
Wow. That's good.
She's gone on to do Broadway show after Broadway show. Like, her career is fine. But it was quite funny, particularly since Marcy Ryland comes up to about my knee. She's a surety. And Dana comes up to about my knee. So I figured they'd want someone of similar height.
Right.
But, so I went in to do this small arc of, like, Lizzie's baby daddy storyline.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they were like, what if she was Beth's character name, I can't even remember. It wasn't the Bowers. Gosh, I remember all of the actors' names because those were my family, but the show. Anyway, let me be the babysitter for the kids, and then let me work at company as a waitress. So it was like this weird thing. And then I went off to do another TV show, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna lose her. We better get her."
Wow.
And that's and it was only because everyone was so lovely and identified with me and thought that I was a breath of fresh air or whatever they said.
They fell in love with your character.
Yes, I like to think it was just all me. I'm sure it had nothing to do with storyline. Like, there was such a great
soap fans love you.
Like Marcy Ryland and Tom Pelfrey and Stephanie Gachet, like all of the young people that were on the show when I first came there. Not only did they throw me a 21st birthday like that I hardly remember, which lets you know how good it was. Like, they really took me in and became a really close group of friends.
Like part of the family.
But, you know, they were also really phenomenal young actors.
Wow.
Which I feel like is different. I feel like a lot of people in soaps, at least back in the heyday, were cast by their looks. But Guiding Light always, they always would pride themselves on like, let me find the great actor, let me find the interesting personality.
Wow.